Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. Welcome to Ask the Expert, and an award-winning daily series from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. to help small businesses. Any questions in the comments today, or please use the hashtag QBATE on Twitter. If you need any more advice, join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook. Accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. So during the live session today, we'll also be running a poll, so please do engage there, and I'll reveal the results at the end. So good morning to anyone who's come to join me today. I am in Dubai, which is really awesome. I have the most beautiful view, and I'm so excited to be sharing some really cool content with you today, especially if you're looking to blow up your personal brand and become an authority figure in your industry. Now, my background, a few years ago, I used to run the largest tennis events company in the UK. I then went on to the TV show The Apprentice, which was absolutely amazing. And if you have got any Apprentice questions, I'm more than happy to answer those as well. And now I'm running a 2Comma PR agency. So we're helping getting CEOs blowing up their personal brand, getting them the recognition that they need to really accelerate their business, and also getting them in the press. So today we are going to be talking about personal branding, about becoming an authority figure in your industry, and also how to monetize your brand. So if you've got any questions, please ask them. Be confident, feel free. I will get through as many as I can, and it would be great to be as interactive as possible. So we're going to just start off today, and we're going to talk about getting started on our personal brand. We're then going to be moving into how to build your story, and finally how to develop your visual identity and being smart on socials. It's going to be quite a quick one. I'm going to give you as much information as I can. We're then going to go through about how to create and distribute that content, building up your social proof, getting known with influencers, and finally becoming a thought leader. Now, if you're watching today, it probably means you have that entrepreneurial spark in you, which means you're driven, you want to get your message out as much as you can. And how to utilize that message in order to bring it into your business is one of the most powerful things that you can do. Now, a while ago, back when lockdown started, I personally used my personal brand to grow Shopping Slot. And that got into all the regional, all the national press. We grew to get 3 million page views within 6 weeks. We had 500,000 users. It was absolutely insane. So being able to utilize and have a strong personal brand is really, really powerful. So I guess the first place to start is who do you want to be known for, right? So when someone types your name into Google, and I love to say this, there are 3 things that are going to come up. Either absolutely nothing, or somebody else comes up who might have an alternate name, or what you want to come up. So we want to make sure, especially now that all of our businesses are going online, that when we type our name into Google, what we want to be shown comes up on the screen. Now, also, if you're watching this, it probably means you are a small business owner, or you're trying to improve yourself. So you've got to think, what are your competitors doing, and how are they also utilizing their personal brand to bring it to the next level? Now, you want to try and get into bed with your audience. So we're going to talk about how to define your objectives. And when I say getting bed into audience, I mean you need to align your core values and your belief systems within your messaging. So who do you stand for as a CEO? And this doesn't just important in the personal branding, but it's also really important when you're trying to grow your team and trying to grow your culture. Because a lot of time in a small business, your employees and your team are motivated by yourself. They want to be driven by you being the best version of yourself. They're driven not just by the money aspect, but by the vision of where they want to achieve. So you also need to pursue this within your business and within your culture. And that's probably really, really key. But jumping back onto the online, when we read online articles, when we get lost on Instagram or LinkedIn, it's all about storytelling, right? We love stories. We've been brought up in a nation where you get a bedtime story, or when you go onto stage and see a big presentation, everyone's telling stories. So you've got to create yours. And being able to create and communicate your story is the absolute key to building your ideal relationship with your audience. So here's a little homework task for you today. try and identify what your story is. And usually your story is ridden with emotions because you want to be able to really feel that your audience is engaging in what you do. And if the audience feels like they can relate to you, they're more likely to know, trust, and buy from you, right? So my story was, I was very quickly a tennis coach, born into a businesswoman, traveling the world, now serving clients all around the globe. All of that came from me being able to tell my story to get myself out there. So being able to utilize this and push it forward is so powerful. Now, we're next going to talk about your visualization on social media and how important social media is. Now, first of all, the biggest question that you have to think of is, what platform are you meant to be on? If all of your business is going to be on LinkedIn, then why are you spending so much time on Instagram? And also, if you haven't got a big social media following, it doesn't matter. We ran our businesses before social media existed, right? Social media is just another platform that you're able to get forward, that you're able to push yourself and get more into. But we also want to be smart because everyone is going online. So try and find one social media platform that your ideal audience is hanging out in and utilize that. And that way you're more able to manage your time better. Now, a great little strategic way to do this is to A/B test different platforms. So let's say this week I'm going to spend 10 hours on Instagram and I'm going to spend 10 hours on LinkedIn. So 20 hours altogether. I then look at where exactly my leads came from and which were the most effective and powerful leads. The next week, I then spend a bit more time on that platform and reduce the others. So this way you'll be more time efficient within your platforms. Does that make sense? It's very, very strong and very powerful. Now we're going to talk about what happens when someone actually goes onto your platform. And I know I'm going through this really fast, and I'm going to give you a free resource at the end to go through the whole blueprint of this, but it's very, very effective. So stay with me. Now, being able to build your social proof and build your online credibility is all about optimizing your profile. So once someone goes onto your social media, onto your LinkedIn, onto your website, what exactly are you putting out there? Now, if it's pictures with you and your kids or you playing with your dog, I mean, it's cute, but it's not going to drive any business. It's going to get people to like you, but it might not necessarily mean people are going to buy from you, right? So you want to be putting yourself out in press articles or thought pieces. What's going to make you a thought leader in your industry? So me, I absolutely love strategic planning and I love economics. So when I talk about scaling companies or getting people into press, I have this fun strategic approach to get people to want to follow me because they like the story, they enjoy the content. So you've got to think how you're going to add value to somebody, entertainment purpose, information purpose, rather than trying to sell to them. As soon as you try and sell to somebody, they get put off, right? We all have sales messages. They're not very sexy. You've got to think how you can engage with your audience and make them entice you, and then you tell them what the product offering is. And finally, we're going to be talking about thought leadership. What's going to allow you to exponentially grow your personal brand and get yourself in the mainstream media? Now, we have a company called 2 PR, which allows CEOs, entrepreneurs, and experts in the industry to get into the press. But how do we create those opportunities? Well, first, it's about building your personal brand so that people know who you are. They like you. When they research you, when they Google you, search on socials, they're inspired by you. They want to be like you. And then the press article is that added level of social proof. So being able to create that extra credibility, to be able to get lead generation in order for you to become a thought leader. So if you've got any questions on press, please just send me a DM and I'll send you all the information through. But press is so powerful now because if you think about the number of online experts, the number of online coaches, everyone who's trying to break into the industry, unless you have real credibility behind what you do, you're going to get overlooked and you're not going to be able to close those high ticket leads. So if you have massive names like Forbes, Entrepreneur, Yahoo Finance backing you and telling your story, again, going back to the storytelling, it is one of the most powerful things that you can do to massively accelerate your brand. Now, all of this together, I've put together in a free blueprint. If you go onto my Instagram, it's sabrinastocker.r. In the link, you've actually got a free personal branding blueprint. So please feel free to go through that as well. Now, I have loads and loads of questions coming through. Please ask as many as you can, anything to do with press, about creating authority figures, and also blowing up yourself via personal branding. Then I'm more than happy to answer those as well. Also, we have got a poll, so please make sure that you are joining in. So we have our first question, which is really exciting. This is from Damien. Good morning, Damien, from Facebook Messenger. He says, I'm the first year in my professional life. Since I don't have enough work experience, can I build up my personal brand now, or should I wait to get experience and accomplishments underneath your belt? Well, there's no perfect time to start a personal brand. There's absolutely no, because it takes up so long to actually build. So my personal brand, I started doing 4 or 5 years ago, and it's only now that I've been really able to utilize that. And now we've got a proven strategy, we can make it excel even more. So your personal brand isn't just for your business, but it's for yourself as well. When you're going into work, what do people think of you? When you're talking to your boss, how does he respond to you? Your personal brand and your personal presence is probably the most important thing that you want to be focusing on right now, wherever you are in your career. And I always say your personal brand, you should have started yesterday. Now I have a question from Becky from Instagram Stories. Good morning, Becky. Have you found new business opportunities during the lockdowns? Yes, 100%. So I had a tennis events company. We were running 400 events a year. We had a team of 42 staff, and it was absolutely crazy how COVID basically stopped my business overnight. So I had to do something. And since then, I've launched 3 new businesses, and in the most modest way as I can, they're doing absolutely amazing because I've done a lot of business coaching, right? So one thing is we help scale startups. The second one is we help get CEOs and entrepreneurs into the press. And the third was an online subscription service from ShoppingStop. Now, all of these show you that no matter where you are in the world or what the situation is, you can thrive, you can push yourself, you can make yourself opportunities. And when everyone's in lockdown, there's always opportunities to be made, especially with the internet. I have a question. These are great questions, by the way, guys. Please keep them coming. Mervyn from Facebook Messenger, good morning. I've been using social media to promote my custom t-shirt business for over a year now. The interactions and engagements have stagnated over the last few months. Is it possible to scale without spending money on ads and influencers? Okay, there's 2 parts to this question. Number 1, if your business is stagnating, you've got to think how you're going to spice it up, right? If you continue to do the same thing over and over and it's not working, then you want to be able to change up the flow. And that might be looking at different social media platforms, different ways to create the engagement, getting more influencers involved. But talking about the second half of the question and about spending money on ads and influencers, it's not necessarily a bad thing to spend money, because if you create a really effective funnel, if you create a really effective marketing strategy, every pound that you put into your advertising should be giving you 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds return on investment. So when we're talking about spending money on ads, it's not just about increasing your costs. It's about what money am I going to put into this funnel, into this ad builder, and what money am I going to get out on the other side. So I'd never be too scared about going into ads. We have one, Glenn from Twitter. Good morning, Glenn. Is it necessary to work with a PR company to get into broadcast media like print and TV? So what we do at 2 PR is we've completely flipped the PR system on its head. Now, generally in the PR industry, you have agents who you basically pay them money and you pay them a retainer and they apply to be in different magazines. Well, rather than doing this, we thought, how can we create a product out of a service? So with us, you pay for what you get. So you're paying for the actual articles rather than paying for an agent's time. And it's super cost and time efficient for business. And that is the reason why we've blown up so quickly, because everyone's constantly wanting to work with us. So if you're looking to get into press, then 100%, you want to be getting those press articles. But speaking into broadcast media, print and TV, well, print, definitely we can help you with that. In terms of TV, it's kind of who you know. And it's also quite a small world when it comes to presenters. So that's definitely about utilizing your personal network. Of course, a PR agent's going to help, but ultimately it is down to you. Good morning from Aaron Patrick from Facebook Live. Hi, welcome back, Sabrina. So excited to see you on Ask the Expert. Thank you, Aaron. Very happy you're here with me this morning as well. Can you let us into the secret about how to keep your social media content engaging but still not genuine and just following the crowd? Thank you. Well, if you check me out on Instagram right now, my Instagram is sabrinastocker.r. I think the last few posts have been pictures of me riding quad bikes and kissing camels. I mean, not exactly Instagram or Love Island friendly, but they're really engaging because people want to see the real, genuine side of me. Now, when you look at social media, for example, Instagram, it's all about having a little bit of fun, right? Think about TikTok. It's all about creating content that we enjoy, what makes us smile. Whereas LinkedIn's a little bit more friendly and a little bit more serious. So it really depends on the platform, but specifically with LinkedIn, just show people who you are. If you love having fun, if you enjoy it, then people are going to want to be like that. As soon as you try to create this fake filtered reality of yourself, no one's really going to believe you. And especially if they meet you in real life and you're completely different, then you're just creating a fake facade. Social media is a tool, and it's about us how to use it ourselves. And for me, it's all about just having a little bit of fun. Great question there. Jordan from Twitter DMs, good morning. As an entrepreneur, I'm sure you're always looking out for new opportunities and chasing ideas. What's the process of freezing on one idea or opportunity and pursuing it further from there? Really great question. I have like 5 businesses running at the same time, so it's super manic, but I just follow whatever I find is trending in terms of being able to expand, but also what I find most exciting. So I've gone fully into press and personal branding purely because I'm really good at it. And there's also a huge market out there of entrepreneurs and CEOs who are trying to accelerate their profile. So for me, because I'm so passionate about it, and it's also got a massive growth opportunity, it makes more sense for me to spend more time. The other ideas that I have, it's not like I'm never going to do them, but I write them down and I park it. And it just means I can focus more on one idea and make that really big itself. Really good question. Robbie from Facebook Messenger. Your businesses are quite different from each other. How do you manage to switch your thought process and focus between them? I'm a freelancer consultant and find it really hard to work on different projects in parallel. Really good question. To be honest, it's about compartmentalization. So how are you able to make yourself focus on one area, switch off and go to the next? And the best way to do this is creating really effective processes and systems. Now, as soon as you create, I like to call them SOPs, standard operation procedures. As soon as you can create them, you're able to delegate them. So yes, let's say I've got 5 businesses running, but I don't do everything in the 5 businesses. I have managers in each of them to maintain them. And it's my job to look after the team rather than to run the business. So by creating these really great systems, it means that you're able to process everything and everything stays super simple. Good question. Good morning, Lauren. Lauren from Instagram Stories says, what was the secrets behind the success of my tennis events? Great question. So my tennis events was the biggest tennis events company in the UK. I say was, but obviously, COVID's happened, so we haven't really got events anymore. But I started off as a tennis coach, and I was the only young person who was super passionate about doing kids tournaments. And there was this huge gap in the market because everyone else, in the nicest possible way, had been doing it for years. And they also like to focus on adults rather than kids. So the reason why we grew so quickly was because we had such an efficient model that was really helping the club, providing huge value to the kids. And also we were the first in the market to expand very quickly. It also took a lot of hours and a lot of strategic planning. So I'd say hard work was massively behind the success of that. But I also worked very closely with the LTA, who are the federation, and they massively supported me. So a little shout out to them too. Elijah from Instagram DMs, good morning. Morning, Sabrina. What are the most common pitfalls of personal branding that we should be aware of? The most common is trying to be the jack of all trades. When someone puts your name or thinks about you, what are they going to think about? And if you have so many things going on, then there's never really any clarity and they don't really know what you're about. So for me, like my main thing at the moment that I'm trying to focus on is personal branding and press. Yes, I ran a tennis company. Yes, I do scale ups, but they're not the biggest aspect of what I do. And with the content that I'm putting out, all of the energy that I'm putting out is so passionate to press and branding. That's what people want people to know me for. So it's the same for yourself. Focus on one thing and become the leader, the thought leader in that particular industry. Doesn't matter, doesn't mean you don't have to do other things, but being able to focus and become more niche is really powerful. Great question. I have one from Sonia from Instagrams. What was the biggest takeaway from your time on The Apprentice? Great question. Probably being able to adapt to situations, right? Because one day you're making donuts, the second day you're selling on the streets, the third day you're having to negotiate and create pitches for a new airline. It was so random. So we had to really quickly be able to adapt to situations. And I've really used that in my personal life. And it's meant that I'm able to switch into one mode, into the other mode, wear different hats within the business. So that was definitely the biggest takeaway. But it was a load of fun as well, which was great. I have one from Marsha from Twitter DMs. Good morning, Marsha. Morning, Sabrina. I want to know about diversification. When should we look at diversifying our business, and how do we know it's a light bulb moment? Great questions. So there's two simple ways, obviously there's lots more, but there's two simple ways of diversifying your business, right? So number one, it's about the skill sets and the resources of your team. So for example, I run a tennis events company. Amazing. Well, what's the skills and resources? It's events. So maybe I could run football events. So you look for something that's, within your kind of industry and your skill set, so you can very quickly duplicate it. But then the other kind of diversification is looking at your clientele and your audience. So for example, in my tennis events company, I have a lot of kids and I have a lot of parents. So potentially I could sell something which is a child's product to them, completely different, but it's still the same audience. So for you, you've got to think about who you have in your business, or what skill sets that you have, depending on which method you're going to do, and then create a product or create a service that's going to allow them to have so much value. But it's really important as well to diversify, right? Because if you just have one product offering and one service and something goes wrong, you've got a massive risk. So diversification is also about risk mitigation too. Really good question. Vicky from Instagram DMs. It's been amazing how you've been able to build multiple businesses at such a young age. Thank you very much. What is the biggest drive as a businesswoman? When I was younger, I used to watch like Tony Robbins and Brendan Burchard every single day before I go to bed. And this is like 14, 15-year-old me. And my thoughts were like, where are the female entrepreneurs in this space? Like, where are they? And I've grown up and I've been able to find some of them, like Mel Robbins. She's amazing, but there's not many people in their 20s who are doing similar. So I thought, like, I want to be that entrepreneur who is driving and thriving other young entrepreneurs to be able to be the best version of themselves. And for me, like, that's so much bigger than myself. And if I can get others to really expand their business, find their why, then it's really powerful. It's beyond me. So that's my biggest motivation. Plus, it's a load of fun as well. Really great questions, guys. Stuart from Facebook Messenger says, is it necessary that our personal brand should reflect our personality traits? I want to bring a strong online presence for my brand and project. This is a good question. I want to build a strong online brand for my project and persona of a confident, approachable guy. But in reality, I'm kind of an introvert. I think I can train myself and program myself to be like that, but I'm worried to come across as fake and after some time. Personal branding doesn't mean you have to be this like extroverted, confident, excitable person all the time. It just means you have to be yourself, right? And so people can buy into yourself. Other introverts are going to buy into you. You don't have to be this massive person who's always talking on Insta stories. Building your personal brand doesn't mean becoming an influencer. It means showing people who you are so that they know, like, and trust you. So be yourself. That's the biggest piece of advice I can be. As soon as you try to be someone else, it's really hard and it's not natural. People love the real you. They love the organic, natural, silly you. That's what they're going to buy into and love. I have one from Nirav from Instagram DMs. Good morning. What are your top tips starting a business in this current market? In this current market, you have to do something that you love, right? Because running a business is hard. It's really hard, especially with so much going on. So you have to find something that's going to be really passionate about, but also what's going to provide huge value to everyone else. You know, we're probably going in, I think we're in a recession right now. We're going into Brexit. There's so much things going on in life. Unless you are super passionate about delivering extraordinary value to your clients, you're never going to be a successful business owner. It's like 2 PR, our press agency. We deliver ridiculous value to our clients, and therefore we're expanding really quickly because that's what everyone wants right now. They want to be able to explode themselves. So creating opportunities for others to thrive is really, really important when you're thinking about starting a business. Zane from Instagram DMs, you must have a great team supporting you all the way. My question is around hiring. How do you go about building a team once you have a new business idea to pursue? Great question, Zane. Now, I have an amazing team. Like, I don't know what I would do without my team. And that's probably the reason why, you know, we've grown so quickly. It's about finding the right people. So number one, when you're creating your business, you have to do all the hard work. And once you've created process and systems, then you can find someone to delegate those processes and systems to. So number one, figure out what your processes and systems are. Number two, find someone amazing to go and do them. And number three, you're able to expand depending on where you want. So right now we're looking for someone to help with us with our sales, because we have so many leads, we can't even take the sales calls. So you've got to find what exactly is bringing you money in to pay for that person. And then is there a job around that role that's going to provide a lot of value to your clients? I'd go into that so much more, but I don't think we're going to have time this morning. Wilson from Twitter DMs says, we are going through one of the most challenging times of our lives. What is your secret to getting over the days when you're not the most motivated? Great question. And I think it's actually going to be our last question today. Now, you've got to find a bigger why in yourself. Like, my mission is to allow other entrepreneurs to thrive and live their best lives through running a successful business. That's way beyond me. Like, that's so much more powerful than me, because I'm affecting and I'm helping other people's lives. So if you can find that in yourself, that's going to drive you to keep pushing yourself. Everyone has bad days. Everyone has good days. Like, we're all human. The only difference between a successful and not a successful person is the way that they approach situations. So every time something goes wrong or something happens in your life, you've got 2 options. Number one, you've got the skills and resources within yourself to be able to deal with that situation. That's the mindset that you want to have. And number 2, if you haven't got the skills and resources, you've got the ability to go and learn them. And that is probably the most impactful thing I can say to anyone. It is the perception of the way that you look after situations and you adapt to situations, which is going to make you more successful than the next person and allow you to live your best life and thrive. Well, Wilson was the last question we have time for today. What an amazing load of questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Well, we did do a poll today, which is also very exciting. The poll results are in. So we asked you the question, is your business prepared for Brexit? Ooh, 33% answered yes, and 67% said no. You know what? We've had so much going on this year, COVID, now we've got Brexit. We've got to do it, right? We can't just think that it's not going to happen. So if you said no to that question, then maybe use this week to think, how are you going to start preparing yourself for Brexit? But it's definitely something we want to think about now rather than having a rush for later. Well, I absolutely loved speaking to everyone this morning. As you can see, I'm smiling because I had such amazing questions come through. If you do have any questions, please get in touch with the QuickBooks support team or myself on Instagram. My Instagram is sabrinastocker.r. The link in my bio is a free personal branding blueprint if you're really wanting to get more into personal branding. And always drop me a DM for any questions. So coming up tomorrow, we have M. Sheldon, who is a multiple award-winning influence styler, social media brand consultant, and business owner. So she's super, super successful, definitely worth tuning in for. We also have a official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook. You've got accountants and business experts on hand 24/7, 100%. If you're not in there already, go join up, because there'll be so much more value and you'll be able to get a lot more out of your accounts as well. Thank you everyone for tuning in this morning. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. I'm sending lots of love and smiles from Dubai. Please feel free to get in contact with me, and have an amazing rest of your day.